Hello and welcome back to the second episode of Race to the Champions League. My name is Josh, and in today's episode we'll be taking you through all the transfers that I've made and then playing the first game of the season away at Chester. So if you watched the last episode, you'll know that we started off unemployed and took the first job available, or actually second job available, but to CURZON ASHTON, not CURZON Athletic as I pronounced yesterday. So CURZON ASHTON, you can see the number of transfers we've done. We were predicted originally to finish 21st, I believe, or 19th in the season preview. The transfers we've done now mean that we are now, so you can see 21st, we are now, according to season preview, estimated to finish in 9th position. So what I'll just do is just show you what transfers we have been able to do in between the episodes. You can see we're still trying to bring a couple more players in. We're still a little short in a couple areas. We've got a little bit of wage budget. So what all I did was, because I'm not going to be scouting anyone, oh, unless they've put it all back up? No. So took out as much of the scouting budget as I can, moved it into transfer budget, and then moved that into wage budget. And then when you get the option to come around to that about the bonuses paid out, put them all at the minimum level, and then use the extra money again in the wage budget. So we are still trying to bring in a couple players. You can see Perry Moss here and Ender Curran. I probably won't show you too much, but you can see a decent striker here. But these are the players that we've actually managed to bring in. So a few of these players would have come in before I joined. So I think Scott Wilson might have been the last one to have joined. In fact, he's not actually on a full-time contract. I have to look into that in just shortly. I think from Tyler Brownsword onwards are players that I've brought in. So we start off with Tyler Brownsword, a 5'10" centre back, so not ideal. Probably look to play more in a defensive midfield or right back option. We get him trained in there. But as I say, he's the first one that we brought in. We also brought in someone called Fabio Sol. He's more of the natural defensive midfield, just in case we play a 4-3-3 with a defensive midfielder. Alternatively, we can do the 4-1-2-1-2, and he slots perfectly in there. He's in on a £0 per week contract, so we're not paying him anything, obviously only a appearance fee. We get him in originally from Reading, then went to Oxford, and last season was on loan at Farnborough. So he comes in, as does Tyler Brownsword, who is actually in on a contract. He's in on a 1-year contract. All these players will be 1 years, if anything. He's originally from Morecambe. And then we've got Dylan Thompson, another centre back. We were very short there. This is an 18-year-old, 6'3", so more with a 16 jumping reach, so more of kind of what I was looking for. He's in on a pay-as-you-play deal again, in from Everton for free. And then we've got Marcel Avucevic, a Polish goalkeeper. Probably going to be my starting goalkeeper. He comes in from Burnley, having never played a game. I don't remember, he's on the £130 per week, but again, just a 1-year contract. And after him, we've got Benny Coutu, a 17-year-old in on loan from Oldham. We're not paying him anything. This is one that my director of football found. We actually have a good, one of our best players is a left back, but bringing Benny Coutu allows the other left back to move into the centre. So we've got a stronger defence. As I say, he's in from Oldham. We're not paying him anything, so can't complain. We've also got Andy Jackson, who is our probably most likely to be starting right back. He is out for the next 2 to 4 weeks, though, with an injury. He came in from Blackburn. Obviously, all these will be for free. Can't really say too much about him. And then we've got Connor Leek Blunt, a central midfielder, likes to play in the more attacking midfielder. Again, on a pay-as-you-play deal. He comes in from Leeds. Of course, if you want to take more information, look at their attributes a bit more, then by all means just pause the video. We've then got Aaron Barton, another youth, as a 16-year-old with 5-star potential. Left back, can also cover up right back. Likely won't be in the team. He's probably just been brought in on a free. One of the first new gens, £5 per week on a 2-year contract. So we'll just see if he can develop. Maybe we can make a profit out of him, or we can just obviously release him. And then we've got Callum Nissel. He, again, on a £0 per week contract. He comes in from Leeds, and he's going to be one of the other attacking kind of midfielders. We're going to probably play, if we play 4-1-2-1-2, it'd be nice to have a Mazzala in there. And the final player that we brought in and this will probably be more likely my starting Mezzala, is Harrison Sona, or Sona, and he comes in from Sunderland, and he's probably the best player we've brought in already, a Vanarama North standard player, potentially to be a League One star, and he's only 19 years old, with a good natural fitness, so he'll fit in well. The only issue is with this guy, for Sunderland to accept the loan offer, we have to agree to play him as a ball-winning midfielder, which when he's got natural more as a Mezzala and with good all-round stats, it feels a bit restrictive to put him as the ball-winning midfielder, but that's what they want, so that's what they'll get. Outside of that, we haven't really done too much. I worked out the reason why I couldn't bring in any players in the last episode was because when I set up the game, I set it up incorrectly and put ticks to the box that said disable transfers for the first transfer window. It must have been from the last game that I set up, which had those settings. So obviously I've just made a new game, gone through it all again, and set it up correctly this time. And so now we're actually, as you can obviously tell, we're able to bring in the players. We've got a number of players in the under 18s. These are all just players that are gaining match fitness. These aren't actually 18, you can see just the top one, but he's in our first team. So financially, we have stretched the budget. So we've probably got another room for another player, maybe a couple more players if we decide to go over. We have currently got a first team squad. I know we've got one loanee. So we'll just pretend he's the loanee. So we've got a first team squad of 21. Might be getting in another player, as you see, another couple attacking, maybe a bit more depth on the wings, for example. So you can see we've got, as I showed you at the start of the episode, we've got a couple more coming through. But today we're just going to play the one game, and it's going to be against Chester, I think it was. If we just have a look, where am I going? So yes, Chester, they are predicted to finish. So we were predicted to finish 13th. I must have accidentally shown you this and thought that was a season preview at the start of the episode. So no, we're actually going to predicted to finish 13th, not 9th. It's Chester who we're playing, and they're predicted to finish 8th. So we'll look to probably have a bit of a tight game. See what we can do. 25-1 on to win the title. I'd be a bit disappointed if we don't make it into the playoffs at least. I don't expect us to go up with just automatically anyway, with just the one automatic promotion place. But this is the team for the first game. If I just pull it up for the first game away at Chester, obviously not going to play a goalkeeper on the bench. So we've got Avucevic in goal. Renshaw was the player they brought in the summer before I joined. He's going to sit out on the bench for this one. He does have 5-star potential, but I did the comparison just before, and Vucevic just about comes out on top. At left back, we've got the 17-year-old from Oldham, Benny Coutu, I don't know how it's pronounced, which frees up Scott Wilson, who was the left back I mentioned, to play in the centre of defence. He's going to be next to Harry Flowers, our other starter centre back. At right back, we've got Matt Challoner. I mentioned before that we've got another right back. I can't remember his name. I don't know if I have it. No, it looks like I can't remember his name, but he's, I believe, injured for the time being. We've got this guy who can also play there, but isn't going to be there for the time being. Actually, where is that guy that I said? Is it Andy Jackson here? Yeah, so I'm just make sure he's in the correct squad there. I don't know what was going on there. I'll see if there's any other players actually that should look to be in the wrong squad. Just Jack McKay squad. No, he's in the squad. Move to senior squad. He can go. Tyler Brownsword, he's already there. Alex Curran, he's already there. Renshaw, we already know he's there. And the rest of these squad, move to senior squad. So we've actually got more players than I realised. We'll move all these ones with 2.5-star, 5-star potential up to the senior squad. No point them hanging about around here. Aaron Barton, we'll move him up there as well, but make him available for the under-18s at the same time. So if we go back to our actual tactics, it doesn't look like it's made much of a difference there. I don't know if that's because I've selected the senior under-18s. So yeah, we've got a big squad now. We can probably afford to get rid of a couple of these players, but we'll see what we can do. Obviously, if they don't play, then they'll just leave on a free. I'm not really too bothered about the dynamics of this team. So we got as far as Challoner, we got Sona, who is the guy on loan from Sunderland that we have to play as the ball-winning midfielder, and he's going to partner Lassie, a box-to-box midfielder. He really wants to be the ball-winning midfielder, so it's annoying we can't swap them around, but he's just as good as the box-to-box. In front of them, we've got Thomas on the left wing, Adam Thomas, a decent player, and we've got CURZON, who's natural in the attacking midfield role. He's going to be my playmaker, if I just correct that quickly. And then we've got Dunn on the right wing, Jack Dunn. Probably look, as I say, to bring in a player to play in this position. And then McKay up front as I think we lost one of our best strikers in someone else pinched him for free. We couldn't really do anything about it. But we've still got McKay, so we're not too downhearted. So this will be the only game of the day because obviously we showed you the number of transfers that we've brought in. You can see we're just going for a standard 4-2-3-1 gegenpress. It's very boring, I know. I don't plan to use this too much. I'll probably just actually amend it a little bit. Keep the passing directness quite direct. Don't want to distribute to centre backs, so just asking for trouble. That can all stay the same. So we've amended it slightly. It's still more or less the gegenpress. And we'll just get into, actually we're not on the game day, so we'll just skip forward quickly and we'll play a game against Chester. So it'll be nice to get off to a good start. I don't feel I fully explained the idea for this challenge is as I say, it's the race to the Champions League. So it's all about getting to and winning the Champions League as quickly as possible, starting unemployed and working my way up to the pinnacle of football, basically, or club football at least. So as I say, I probably hope to get it done within 10 seasons. I don't know if that's being optimistic. I've never done anything like this before. Obviously, there's no real play teams or anything that we have to choose or can't choose. It's up to us. I'm just going to amend these because it's zoomed in. So yes, as I say, there's no real teams that we can't go with. I know teams like PSG are particularly boring to start with, or Man United, or all those big Champions League teams with massive finances. If you start off with them, it's not the most interesting save. It's quite easy to get to winning the Champions League within, if you don't do it in the first season, then probably within the second season. Hopefully, what I'm hoping is that by the time we actually reach those levels of Champions League teams, of the likes of PSG or Man United, that they're going through a struggle, that they're having to have a rebuild, maybe their team's getting old and they need a fresh influx of players, or maybe there's been even a takeover and they're not as strong or as powerful as they were or as they are now. But obviously we'll pick and choose our players, our teams as we go along. I still want to make it kind of as realistic as possible, and I'm not going to just turn down a team because I like, say for example, if a League Two team come in for me now, obviously they won't. I've not played a single game, but I'm not going to turn that down just because I like the idea of taking CURZON as far as I can. I will take the League Two job because that is higher up the English Football League. There may be occasions where it wouldn't benefit me. For example, if I take a team that is going to get promoted from League Two to League One, say, I'm not going to go and uh, move to the team in League One that is 15 points adrift from safety with 5 games remaining, because that would just be silly. Next season I'll be back in the league where I am now, and that's a lovely finish by Jack Dunn. So there will be some elements of thought. I'm not just going to go straight for whoever offers me the next job. If it's higher up the ladder, obviously take a bit of time to review it, discuss it, and go from there. But this is lovely play from Thomas. His initial shot gets blocked, but it comes to Dunn, and first time finish on the left foot. I don't know if that's his weak foot. I'm not sure what foot he is. But it was excellent. The keeper was already floundering from the initial shot, and just to pass it into the net was beautiful. And after 35 minutes, we're actually 1-0 up, and it's an excellent start. You can see this is kind of the position that I'd like to finish around. I don't expect us to go up as champions, definitely not in the first season. If we're still here next season, or if I'm still here next season, then that's where I'd look to be. But for the first season, it's all about just um, coping with what the game has given you to start with. As you probably saw when I first joined, there was only that's offside. There was only what was it, 18 players, 19 players in the squad, so we had to bring in a whole number of players. And this season's just about bedding them in, seeing which ones are suitable for the level, and then next season would be about expanding, trying to build a team that's good enough to win the league. Hopefully, we will get through that. Hopefully, within the season, I'll be able to move on, and I will be. My job search will include me actively searching and applying for other jobs. I don't really do that when I normally play Football Manager, so I don't really have the experience of what impact that will have. Oh, that's a lovely goal. I know it's not us, but got to applaud that. Darren Stevenson. Yeah, as I say, I don't really have the experience of knowing what kind of impact applying for other teams' vacancies will be or will have. I know like there can be, you can declare interest and that makes it all publicly known, or you can keep it kind of under the hat, but then the media might still find out about it. So it'll be interesting to know um, what impact applying for other teams' jobs has, and if that gets me sacked, if that obviously puts me back. So that'll be a nice little balancing act to test out. So we're going to bring off McKay's struggling today with 6.4. We're also going to bring off. No, we're not going to bring off. We're going to swap them around, and we're going to bring on. We're just going to swap them around. Actually, we're going to keep Harrison Sona. I don't really. 6.4. It's not great that he's playing as the ball-winning midfielder. Um, I don't know what would happen if I immediately swapped them. Actually, we're going to make another change here as a few more of our players are getting tired. So Coutu can come off. I um, don't want to change the back four too much, so I'll just swap them back. So I don't know what happens if you can cheese the system a little bit by putting Sona on as initially as the ball-winning midfielder and then swapping him over on 1 minute. But regardless, that is the end of the first game. And although we were dominated stats-wise, they had almost double the number of shots and double the number of shots on target. We've come out with a 1-1 draw. So a point away from home, 3 points at home. We'll get promoted, no problem. So that'll be it for today. I'll probably just skip through a little bit now. With this challenge, it's not really important for me to focus on the likes of the cups or anything like that. So this FA Cup second qualifying round, I'm not particularly interested in, because if I win it, so be it. I'm not, as I say, not particularly fast. That's not part of my journey. I'm focusing on just getting up the leagues as quickly as possible. But after one game, you can see we got our 1 point. Probably come back around the end of September, start of October, maybe Farsley and Kidderminster. I'll obviously have a proper look, see if there's what the best couple of games will come back for will be. But if you've enjoyed that, I'd appreciate it if you could just leave a quick like and maybe even subscribe if you're that way inclined. But I hope you have a nice evening, and I hope to see you tomorrow.